was not only about aesthetics in the business. I thought I just need to learn how to inject. Now I was forced to learn about Google, Instagram, Facebook, psychology, everything, because in this business it's a lot of psychology also. First, you need to understand the patient, why it came into your clinic. If they really want to have something done, they need it, they don't need it. Like, you need to understand the patient. You cannot just do the job whatever the patient is asking. You need to speak with the patient, understand the patient, and then decide if it's good for the patient, if it's not good. Sometimes you can change their mind forever. Sometimes you can change their mind for 3 days. After 3 days, they're coming back. That's the most important part of the job. You need to work every day on your Instagram, on your Google account, on your TikTok, Facebook, online. When your clinic is empty, it's easy to get the patients. You get them online. I'm trying to teach my students too. They better post one good picture a week than to post 200 bad pictures on their social networks.
Hello guys, and welcome back to the Face It podcast. Today we have a very special episode in a long line of very special episodes. We are travelling up and down the UK to visit some of the industry's leading practitioners and experts in their fields, whether that is in aesthetics or in beauty. These people have influenced their industry in some way, have achieved huge success, and are full of amazing stories, inspiration and advice for both you and for me. We'll be visiting them on site at their own clinics, salons or studios and getting their views, their thoughts and opinions on their careers. There will be something in every single discussion to take away and apply to your own business. So stick around and grab yourself a pen. Sometimes all it takes is a small nugget from an entire conversation that can spark the biggest change in your business. So without further ado, it's time to welcome our guest. Hi everyone, so I'm here today with Dr Razvan in his wonderful clinic in the heart of London. I am going to introduce Dr Razvan first to you though, because you are a master in aesthetics with an advanced aesthetics clinic right here in London, and you're a global aesthetician and trainer as well. So what led you to having this career within aesthetics?
Well, everything started years ago when my ex-girlfriend, she was overdoing her lips. I made a bet with her that I will have my lips done. She didn't believe me, went to the doctor, he done the job, and that moment I knew that this is what I'm going to do in the future.
Wow, so it was literally you being a patient yourself.
Only like that you understand the business. You need to have the treatments done on yourself, and then you understand if you can do it and how it feels. You need to understand the feeling, the pain, to understand what the patient feels.
I completely agree, because I come from a PMU background and I feel the same way. Like, I feel like you need to have had those treatments before you can offer the treatments a little bit. So that's interesting. What is it about aesthetics that's really appealing to you? Like, why is it such an appealing career?
You can have your own clinic, you can be your own boss, you can work in any country you want. It's something that it's inside of you. It's not a job, it's an art what we're doing. So it's not something that you just want to do it and you can start studying and you can be the best. It needs to be inside of you. Example, if I want to start painting tomorrow, I cannot do it. Even if I will go to school. Like, you need to feel that and to want to be in the business. I like being my own boss. I like traveling. I can work all around the world. I can open a clinic in any country I want. I don't depend on anyone, and it's a place where you're growing every day. It's not a place where you get stuck at the same level for the rest of your life. Every day, the harder you work, the higher you go, and just trying to become more famous.
Yeah, there's always something to learn, isn't there, though?
Every day. It's same like with the clothes branding. All the time the style is closing, it's changing, my bad. So new clothes they coming out, new techniques they coming out about lips, new fillers, new products. Like, at the moment it's booming.
Yeah, it is definitely the last sort of 5 years,
Yes.
Sort of post-pandemic as well. I've had quite a few doctors say that post-pandemic it's just shot through the roof. Like, there's so many more people interested in treatment than there were even before that. And it's interesting that you mentioned about owning your own business, running your own clinics. It's very, very clear that a lot of people that are at your level doing as well as you're doing are entrepreneurial in spirit. So you're not just a doctor, you're not just an esthetician, like you're an entrepreneur at heart. Do you feel like that way about yourself, that's
exactly
where you come from? Yeah.
It's not only about aesthetics in the business. I thought I just need to learn how to inject. No. I was forced to learn about Google, Instagram, Facebook, psychology, everything, because in this business it's a lot of psychology also. First, you need to understand the patient, why it came into your clinic. If they really want to have something done, they need it, they don't need it. Like, you need to understand the patient. You cannot just do the job whatever the patient is asking. You need to speak with the patient, understand the patient, and then decide if it's good for the patient, if it's not good. Sometimes you can change their mind forever. Sometimes you can change their mind for 3 days. After 3 days, they're coming back. Sometimes they're going next door, they're having the treatment done, and then they're coming back to you complaining that they didn't have the good treatment and they're supposed to listen to you, but they didn't want to listen. So it happens this all the time. It's a lot of psychology into it.
So obviously you've absolutely nailed the personal branding side of it, and I know that you've spoken about the psychology of clients being a big part of clinic, but obviously there's another side to that, which is the psychology behind marketing and who you're marketing to and your client base, which you've nailed really, really well. Do you think that's quite an important part of running a clinic now, that practitioners have to really focus in on, how they're going to market their brand? Because it doesn't mean you're going to be successful just because you're a good esthetician. Do you agree?
Well, that's the most important part of the job. You need to work every day on your Instagram, on your Google account, on your TikTok, Facebook, online. When your clinic is empty, it's easy to get the patients. You get them online. I'm trying to teach my students too. They better post one good picture a week than to post 200 bad pictures on their social networks. You need to learn how to take pictures. You need to learn how to write under the pictures, let's say on Instagram. It's a lot of work, and the most important part of the work is online, because everybody is deciding if they will come to you or not on Instagram, let's say. They're checking your pictures, then they decide if you're good for them or you're not good enough.
So yeah, marketing is a really big thing, and I'm sure everyone that's listening will go and check your page out if they've not heard of you already, and that's a part of your business that you've absolutely nailed. And you did mention you've got assistants that help with that, and you've got people within your business that help nail that side of what you do. And I think that's something for people who are listening to take away, is that sometimes investing initially in having those people to support you with your marketing, whether that's an assistant, whether that's a social media manager, whatever it is, or content creators coming into the clinic, whatever it is, it's a good investment.
Always.
Yeah.
Always is the most important part.
It's going to get
job.
People in.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving on a little bit then, what treatments are you most passionate about, and why are you most passionate about those treatments?
Well, let me think. Maybe nose correction.
Okay. And why? Why nose correction?
Why? Because it's really hard to get a nose job. The results, they're going to be, if you have a surgery, if you're going for a surgery, it will take up to 1 year to see the final result.
Wow.
Your nose is really swollen after the procedure, so a lot of girls, they're choosing fillers. It's the most riskiest procedure. I like these procedures because a lot of people, they don't do it, they don't want to take the risk, they're scared of this. Plus, it's the only procedure where I had clients crying after the procedure.
Wow.
They were so happy, and it's really easy for me to do this job.
Yeah, I suppose it's that job satisfaction that you get when you have done that for someone, and they're so grateful and happy that they've come to you and you've given them exactly what they were looking for. So like you're saying, that's just another part of what you do, is that job satisfaction that you get from doing aesthetics.
That's the most important part.
Yeah. So what part of the sort of nose treatments do you like doing? Because there's the little pixie lift, is it now as well?
It's called Barbie nose.
Barbie nose.
Yes,
okay.
and nobody can do that.
Yeah.
I can do it. It took me years to study literally like 3-4 years
Wow.
to finally understand how to get that nose done.
Wow.
Then I don't teach this. A lot of students are coming and they're asking me to teach them, but it has no price. This.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to teach anyone. Here is not only about money; it's about you being the best at doing something.
Yeah.
So as soon as you teach someone, they're gonna teach another person, and then everybody knows how to do it.
Yeah.
So all the time you need to be the best and the first one who's doing that procedure.
Yeah, it's one of your signature treatments then,
Exactly.
and sometimes it's best to keep it that way because, like you say, you know, you could make lots of money going away and doing the training on that, but it's not about that for you. That's what I'm getting from what you're saying.
Exactly.
It's about the quality of that treatment, and with it being so complex, you would rather keep that in-house and be something that you do and focus on here. So, no, kudos on that one. You offer a lot of unique procedures. So you've got L-Fears, which are on the website, Scrotox, vaginal rejuvenation. What is it about offering these lesser known treatments that is really important to you?
Well, Alfia is there for Asian people. So you need to understand how to work with Europeans, with Asian people, with Arabic people. Everybody likes something else. Everybody has a different style. So you need to understand first the patient, where they come from, and then to know what they're looking for. In London is one of the hardest cities in the world where you can work because we have people from all around the world. So you cannot do the same procedures for all your patients. You always need to understand where they come from, and then you take it from there.
Sure, so that's part of your assessment when you've got a client in front of you then, is really understanding their heritage, I suppose.
Yes.
Where they hail from, what kind of aesthetic they're actually after. Because you are a global aesthetician, we'll get into that. You've been pretty much everywhere at this point. I don't think there's anywhere you haven't touched down and done treatment. So have you found a treatment that is more popular depending on the location? Are there specific treatments that you don't do a lot of here that maybe you do quite a lot of elsewhere? Is that how it works?
Well, yes, depends again. Example, in hot countries where it's a lot of sun, the skin gets damaged. So these people, they're looking a lot for skin boosters. This is what they need the most because they spend most of their time in the sun. In UK, it's no sun, we have no sun, so skin boosters are less, but again, it's bad because we don't have vitamin D. And again, we need different treatments. So every country is different.
Yeah, I can imagine. Is there a more popular treatment in Europe somewhere? Is there,
Europe, no. Now, let's say Germany, it's a boring country. Sorry, but German women, they don't invest so much money in the beauty. Now, Eastern countries, Romania, Bulgaria, let's say Lithuania, Latvia, these countries, they invest so much money in their beauty. So in these countries, all the procedures are really popular. France, Germany, it's kind of boring. They just go for more natural.
Yeah, so you tailor what you're offering maybe to them, what they're looking for in that particular location.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But lips is the most popular procedure in the whole world.
Yeah, and you can see that across social media. Which brings me on to one of your more interesting treatments probably. You were recently on the Olivia Attwood documentary about your work in penis enlargement. So how popular is that particular procedure here? Have you found that there's an increase of men coming in for that particular treatment?
Yes, it's been an increase because a lot of men, they don't know about the procedure. So now through the documentary, a lot of men they got educated and they learn more about the procedure. So we're having more patients. It's like I told you before, we need to educate the patients about the procedures. If they just go on your website and they see the price list, they don't understand half of the procedures. So you need to educate your patients. You need to explain them what they can do because a lot of patients, they have no idea that they can fix so many things. Example, migraines, you can fix them really easy. And a lot of patients, they suffer of migraines and they've been going to the hospital for the rest of their life. They will still go there and they won't fix it when they can come in the clinic and you can fix the problem in 5 minutes. So it's really important to educate the patients.
So the education piece is probably on the top priority list for you then really, because you offer quite a few treatments that are a little bit more unheard of by the general public. You know,
Correct.
the general public by now have generally heard of Botox, they've generally heard of fillers, but it's those more unusual treatments that, you know, they need educating on. So do you find that that's something you're trying to work on your social media a bit more now, is that education piece in your marketing?
Yes, correct. I'm starting next month to educate more.
I saw you looking for a content creator,
Yes,
so was
I
that
found
kind of
one.
where
Yes,
it was
correct.
coming from and why? Yeah, but it was quite interesting seeing that on the documentary with Olivia, because obviously you don't really get to peek behind the curtain with those kind of treatments as well, because it's such a sensitive topic, I think. for
Correct.
them.
Correct. So a lot of men, they're embarrassed to come,
Yeah.
but I keep explaining them that they better be embarrassed once when they come to me than to be embarrassed every single time when they meet a new girl.
That's true. That's a really good way of putting it to them, actually. It's like just that one last embarrassment, I suppose, getting their kit off in front
It's
of
not
you.
really an embarrassment, like, this is life, this is how you were born, I'm trying to help, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. That's
So-
why you're offering these treatments that not many estheticians do. It's because you're quite passionate about giving people that option.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help them, I can say I can change their life in 5 minutes.
Yeah. That must be quite a nice feeling for you, you know,
It
to
is.
think that you're adding that much value to your clients' lives.
Well, it's not about the money in this business, but these days everybody's following the money.
Yeah.
A lot of my students, so they coming and they're asking about the money, how much money can you make in the business. It's not about the money. If you're running after money in this business, you're never going to get anywhere. You need to invest the money, and then you need to have the happiness of the patients. So the good energy, it's more important than all the money.
Yeah. And the money follows, doesn't it? I think
Exactly.
if you're
They
doing
call me
it,
anyway,
yeah, if you're doing it from a place of passion for the right reasons, the money eventually follows.
always.
But like you say, there is investment needed in this industry, and that sort of brings me on to your training. So you do a lot of training globally, not just in the UK as well. What sort of courses do you offer for, you know, people that are listening that might be interested in doing some training with you? What sort of things do you offer in terms of training?
Well, my trainings are different. That's why I have a lot of students, because I'm not doing 1-day training. I'm doing 5 days training
Wow.
with a maximum of 5 students, 10, 12 hours a day sometimes. We're training really hard for these 5 days. After the 5-day training, I accept all my students to come back to the clinic and to shadow me, and we're trying to bring more models. They can bring their patients into my clinic and inject them under my supervision.
Brilliant.
Plus, they're always in the WhatsApp group where I'm helping them every single day. So whenever they have a patient or they have a problem, they're texting, I'm there, I'm helping them. So the most important part of the trainings is the support after the training. Because during the 5 days, it's a lot of information. Most of them, they forget about everything we spoke. So I need to take care of them. I have students that they've been coming for the past 2 years. They're still coming to me, and everything is for free.
It's because they trust you now as well, that you're there, and that's amazing. It says a lot about you and your character. I think the fact that you're willing to offer that ongoing support 2 years down the line, you know, there's no financial gain for you at all at that point.
None.
They've paid for their course.
Exactly.
But
I
that
know-
says a lot about you.
I know these students, they're gonna end up somewhere, and they started from my clinic.
Yeah.
So when they're gonna get somewhere, they're gonna
Remember
talk
and
about
say,
me,
yeah.
that they started with me, and
Yeah.
that makes me happy.
Again, you're coming from that entrepreneurial mindset, because that's, you know, something that we do in e-commerce. I come from an e-commerce background, but it's understanding that longevity of that particular client or, you know, trainee, whoever it is, that they're going to come back around again.
Correct.
They're going to pass that good word on to their friends and their other friends, and then it's building that community around your brand. So
I want to stay in this business for a long time. I met a lot of doctors that they're doing lots of risky procedures. You can make lots of money really fast, and then you're going down. Or you can do it correctly and survive forever in this business. It depends what you choose.
yeah, and that's what you want to do, of course.
Correct.
So Scrotox, let's completely change tack. Scrotox, what is that? You've got it on your website. I know you want to do lots more education around it. I was intrigued by it.
Well, we call it, I don't know, lots of doctors, they call it a dummy treatment. Because what actually does, scrotox, it's an organ, it's outside of the body. We can inject it with botulinum toxin. You get rid of the wrinkles. Plus, you're not sweating anymore in the area. And now what happens? The scrotox, it's hanging more because it's a muscle. It's contracted. When you inject the botulinum toxin, it starts to hang more. But now the problem is, you have your penis, you have the scrotox. If it's hanging too much, it's covering the penis, and now your penis looks shorter. So a lot of people don't want it. Some of them, yeah, they're going for it because you have a bigger scrotox, it looks better for themselves, but it's not really such a popular treatment, but yeah, you can do it.
So there's like pros and cons to it then, really.
Correct.
It just depends, you know, which
Yes.
side of the fence. I was interested in what that was. I think it's the first time I've sort of seen it advertised anywhere. First one I've come across anyway.
Well, everybody thinks different about the procedure. Everybody thinks that the scrotox becomes smaller, but no, actually it's the other way. The opposite is becoming bigger.
Are more men now having treatments as a result of offering these more targeted procedures? Because obviously there seems to be a lot more for men than just facial Botox now.
Yes, and why lots of men they start this? Because let's say their wives, girlfriends, they come in with them, and then I see lots of times the wives or the girlfriends they're trying to push the man to have a procedure done. They don't want to do it, most of them, but after first procedure, they're always coming back.
Yeah.
They repeat it all the time.
They get hooked onto it then, maybe.
Let's say I have some bad guys that they're coming into the clinic and they love all the procedures. And I'm shocked because I know they're like big bad guys and they keep coming back and they're doing lots of procedures and they love it.
Yeah. Now, have you seen a bit of an increase in general though across the board, like even aside from the more masculine-based procedures? Just for general Botox and facial filler, have you seen that more men are now coming through the clinic than ever before?
Yes, it's correct.
And why do you think that is?
Like I said, their women, they start to push them
It's our fault.
in. Yes. Because men, they don't understand about the procedure. If sometimes they come with their wife, I do a procedure for the wife, and then at the end when they need to pay, they look at the wife and they're like, I don't see any changes. So men, they don't really see any changes at the beginning. But after they do it on themselves, then they understand the change, and then they keep coming back, yeah.
It's a bit of a light bulb moment then.
Yeah, the other day I was speaking with one of my friends, and the same, he's like, I never want to hear about Botox, but like after I had it done first time, he's like, I'm running to the doctor non-stop. As soon as I have a wrinkle, I'm back.
Straight back there.
Yeah.
Do you have a bit of an unsung hero treatment so what I mean by that is a treatment that people don't really know much about, but has amazing results and you wish more people knew of?
Yes, I have something new. Again, I'm the first one, I think so, who's doing it in UK. Nobody else does it. I just started to promote it now. They're called jumbo threads.
Right, okay.
So usually after threads, it's really hard to go to work, to go on the street, to go out. After this procedure, you can go to work next day, no downtime, amazing results, and it's something really, really new. And yeah, it's even hard to get the product in UK. And I just started to promote it. I started to do trainings for this, and also I'm gonna have the distribution for the product.
Brilliant.
Because also I'm trying to sell products.
Yeah, okay. So that's something that you're working on this year then,
Yes.
sort of promoting that particular treatment. And you said you do training in that as well, is that right?
Yes, I just started. I had first training, it's been, I don't know, a week ago, I think so. Yeah.
Excellent. Good. What's your favourite procedure? Is it this new one?
Yes, I like this procedure a lot. Amazing results, something new. I always like to be in front of everyone. Like, I don't know if you remember and if you know about the fox eyes.
Yeah.
So I was one of the first ones who done it.
Yeah.
And now I still have people calling me and asking me to study about fox eyes, and I'm like, you're too late. It's been like, it started years ago. You need to be the first one who does the procedure. So that's why I like jumbo threads, because I'm the first one who's doing it. I'm also training. So I love this procedure. It's one of the best ones, amazing results, natural.
How do you feel about fox eyes? That's sort of petered out a little bit. You don't find people asking for it as much anymore.
No, I don't even do it because when the patient pays, I need to offer them some good results. I want them to be happy. So at this time, I don't really do it. Only if they drive me crazy, let's say, I will do it, but still I'll do it for half a price. Yeah. Only to prove them that it doesn't work. Yeah. And then all of them, they're coming back and they're not happy with the results. Yeah. It doesn't last at all. It's like a commercial. You know, when a new product comes on the market, everybody's going for the new product. Doesn't matter, it's good, it's bad. Depends how you promote the product.
Yeah, so for you again, it's that integrity in what you're doing. That's why you've sort of pulled that particular treatment, because you just don't feel that you can get your clients the result that you really want to get them. That's what I'm getting from that?
Exactly. Now there's so many new procedures and patients they're calling every day and they're asking for these new procedures, but no, I'm not doing them because I know they won't have the result that they want.
Yeah.
So you need to offer them good results for the money that they're paying.
Of course.
It's not just that, I don't know, they think different, all these patients. Whenever they see something new on TikTok, Instagram, they just start calling you and they want to have this procedure done. I do research. If it's not good, I'm not doing it. Still, they're going to go to other clinic where they're doing it. Like I said, some people, they do this only for money. They're trying to make fast money. But if you want to take care of your patient, you need to explain to the patient about the procedure, if it's good, if it's bad, if it's worth it for them or not.
Do you worry about that sometimes when you've got, there's a treatment out there and you think, I'm not a really big fan of that treatment, I don't think it gives particularly good results. You've got a client that comes to you and says, I really want to have this treatment done. Do you feel a responsibility to educate them before they go off to find that other practitioner that's going to do it anyway? It must be quite difficult for you, because you could just offer it because you want to save them from going to someone who maybe doesn't have your level of experience. It's tough, isn't it?
It is tough, and sometimes, like I said, they listen to you. They're going home. Sometimes they listening to you for 3 days. After 3 days, they coming back to the clinic. And some of them, they go into another clinic.
And get it done anyway.
And get it done.
Your advice.
And then my friend came the other day and he's like, I want to dissolve my chin. I'm like, why? Because 2 weeks ago you want to make it bigger. He's like, well, I didn't listen to you. And I went to another clinic. I had it done and now it's too big. And I'm coming back to you to dissolve it.
Wow.
So, yeah, they're learning too. We're learning. Everybody needs to learn.
Yeah. So you're still there. You still sort of support them if they come back to you and say, I went and had it done anyway. Can you fix it?
Well, yeah, I need to help them. I'm trying to help. I like problems, so I try to fix everybody's problems. Whenever my students have any problems, they send them to me. So I try to take care of them and fix them. Now I have patients that I speak to them for 20 minutes. I explain them, and still they don't get it. And then at that moment, I understand that I need to do the procedure for them, because it doesn't matter, I can explain to them for 1 month, they still don't get it, they still want to do it. You're a woman, you understand women, you need to understand how women think. When they want to have something done, you need to do it. So I'm like, okay, have a seat, we do the procedure, I need to make you happy.
Well, what is your goal at this stage of your career then? Because obviously you've done a lot. You're building multiple clinics as well, from what I understand.
Yes.
Out in Europe. So what's your goal at this point? Where are you heading?
Well, maybe to make more money from another business and come to work, come to the clinic and lower my prices, make it more affordable for everyone. Like, I'm trying not to survive from this business. I'm trying to survive from another business, and here just to come as a hobby, to do it with passion, more passion, and lower the prices, make it more affordable for every person. Because these procedures, people need to understand, they're not for everyone because they're expensive. So they're for people that they really have lots of money and they want to spend lots of money. But I'm trying to make it more affordable for everyone.
And why is that? Where does that come from? Is that your desire to help more clients?
Psychology again. Because lots of girls, they feel depressed. Everybody's on TikTok these days, Instagram. They see all these face apps. Some of them even come with a face app and they're like, you see this? I want to look exactly the same.
Wow.
So I'm trying to help them feel more comfortable, more confident. And you can see that a woman's confidence improves so much after a procedure. They believe more in themselves. They're much happier. They go on the street. They find a better boyfriend, let's say. So it's really important that. And now at this stage, not everybody can afford these procedures. So it's not correct. Just the patients with money to look good. I want to make it more affordable for everyone. Everybody needs to be able to come to the clinic and have some procedures done.
Yeah, to be able to access the treatment.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a nice way of looking at it. I don't think I've heard that from a clinician before. So that says a lot again about you. You deliver treatments globally. We've touched on that. I mean, I don't think there's anywhere that you've not actually flown to and done treatments in. What's your favourite location and why is that? Do you have a favourite location that you work in?
Not really. It's the same everywhere. Favorite is London because here is home.
Yeah.
And here it's much harder to work because you work with different nationalities, like I said. In different countries it's boring because everybody wants the same procedure. Let's say when Asians come to the clinic, in here everybody wants the same procedure. So it's the same. If I go Spain or I don't know, wherever in Europe, everybody wants the same procedure because they're coming from the same country and
the same sort of
exactly.
look. Yeah.
Same sort of look, same techniques. I don't know, a few years ago, Iranians, they had this thing going on with the long chins. So everybody want to look the same. And I don't understand them. Like, everybody want to look the same.
Yeah.
This is not normal and it's not nice. So in London, it's much better.
Very varied. Because you like you say, culturally, there's a lot of different cultures and stuff. So
you never know who's coming in and what they're asking for. Like, I remember elf years. When first girl came in and she asked for elf years, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
I need to study more about it, and I studied and I started doing it, and yeah.
What advice would you give to someone struggling to get where you are today? Because obviously we've got a lot of practitioners that are on our platform that are probably sort of mid-level. They're just struggling to maybe build on their clinic. Maybe they're not fully booked out yet. So what's your advice for those people that are listening that look at you and go, I want to be like that guy. How do I get there?
You need to work hard. That's the only answer that you can get. I have students, they coming to me after 1 year, after they finish the course, and they still don't have an Instagram. Wow. Yes, a working Instagram. But I have my working page, I'm trying to promote it. I'm like, no. You need a working Instagram, you need a website, you need to work on it. They don't work on it. Everybody want to get somewhere, but in real life, actually, they don't do it. They don't work. They just sit and talk and watch other people. No, you need to work. After we finish working clinic, we're going home. We work on the computer, on the phones. It's another one. You have no vacations. Every vacation you go on, you have your phone with you. You always need to answer every single day. You need to work on the phone because nobody does a job like you. You can hire an assistant, you can hire 10 people still. You need to check your work and you need to work also.
Work ethic then is a big part of why you've got to where you are.
Kills you mentally sometimes. You need to balance work, vacations. Sometimes even every month you need to have 2-3 days off where you just go away, but still you have the phone with you.
Yeah, but I think that's, you know, going back to the entrepreneurial spirit thing that we spoke about earlier on in the episode, that seems to be the theme with a lot of you that are working at this top level. You just have this extra layer of work ethic and drive and passion that's not just rolling in every day and just doing your treatments. You're operating on a different sort of level. Do you think that's a real...
Yes, but it takes years to get there.
Yeah.
It took me so many years to just build this team. I changed so many assistants. I lost so much money. I tried with lots of Instagram companies, Google promoters, everything. I lost all the money. I never seen any results. So it took years to build a good team. And still I'm looking for people, but it's hard. It's hard to find someone good.
Yeah. I think that's the side of it people don't see. They don't see, you know, how long it took someone to get where they are. They just see that tip of the iceberg. They just see the good bit, right?
Always.
But there's all those days and nights and, like you say, where you've trusted in people to do things for your business and it's not panned out. You know, there's all that struggle kind of underneath it. And then, you know, everyone thinks you peak overnight, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly, correct. And people, they're scared of mistakes.
Yeah.
They're scared of making mistakes now. I keep telling them on my group with where are my students, I keep telling them, like, please post everything on the group. We're learning from mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. So try whatever comes in your head. Try to be different. Try to make mistakes. You're learning.
And the fact that you are providing such a supportive atmosphere for that, because there's a lot, you know, there is a lot online at the moment, especially in the aesthetics groups, that is really anti-mistake at all, and they're not, you know, they're not very supportive of people that are making those mistakes as they're learning, almost forgetting that that's what they did earlier on in their careers. So it's nice to hear that you've got that very supportive place where your students can come and say, I've done this, I'm not sure I've done the right thing, how do I fix it? How do I learn from this experience? How do I grow as a clinician? How do I correct it? Like, that's so important that you're offering that space, because there's not much of it, I don't think, anymore.
Nobody, everybody just doing some short trainings, diplomas, and a lot of students, they're running after the diplomas, and they keep telling them, diplomas, they don't mean anything. I can give you 100 diplomas, they don't mean anything. You need support, you need somebody to help you. You need to learn how to do the job. So it takes time for everything. I'm teaching them how to take pictures, how to build their social media. It's a lot of work, a lot.
I think that's so important though, that that side of what you're offering training wise, I think that's what sets your training apart massively from a lot of other courses and things that are out there. The fact that they've got that person there who really cares about their growth and development after they've left.
This is really important, you know why? Because when I started this, I had no one to call. At that time, there were only few people doing this. You had no support, no one to call. You needed a product or something, you couldn't get it. It was so hard, so hard. And now I'm telling them that everything is so easy. Now you can find even videos on YouTube. At that time, there were no videos on YouTube, no support, no product. It was so hard. And now it's so easy. And still, they cannot do it. I don't get it.
Well, they've got you, haven't they? They've got you now if they come and train with you. So I think we're coming to the end of our episode now anyway, Dr. Razvan. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we maybe haven't touched on today? I know we've covered a lot, so you may feel that we've covered most bases.
Not really.
Yeah.
I'm happy with all the questions.
Yeah.
You asked me almost everything.
Yeah. No, it's been amazing to talk to you. And for those that are listening, where can people find you online? If they've not, by some stroke of luck, not come across you yet, with your ginormous social media, where can they find you on Instagram and where can they find your training?
Well, everything is online. Google Dr. V Clinic. You can find me. It's only one. You Google it and you get all the details.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for today. You've been amazing. Best of luck with your new clinics that you're opening across Europe, with your training as well. Stay tuned for those of you listening, because there may be a way that you can access Dr. Razvan's courses through the Faces Training Hub, and we'll update everyone on that. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.